Alright, today this is my first detailing video, but just kind of wanted to make a video of this because I know that this kind of interior is kind of a pain. So just wanted to go through this really quick, but there's some staining. This is a 2012 Silverado, but it's a work truck, so the upholstery is not exactly high-grade material here. So these side bolsters here is kind of like your standard upholstery that you find, but this center part is like a real thin material. I see these in a lot of GM cars. Cobalts, G6s can sometimes have this real cheap material, but this cheap material stains really bad. It's kind of a pain to get the stains out, but I want to show the process that I go through and hopefully kind of help somebody. So this particular truck, hopefully it shows up okay on camera, but you can see all through here there's staining, and I'm hoping to get all that out. But my process, so first, of course, if you have an actual stain where maybe you spilled something, you know, pick up whatever it is. If you have any loose, I don't know, whatever you spilled, just pick it up. And then your next step is just to sweep up anything. So I have a shop vac right here. That's always the first step. And then I'll show you how I actually steam clean. The videos I've seen, they don't always go through this process, but it helps out a lot, I think, in my experience. So just to show you everything I have, I've got 2 different kinds of brushes, actually 3 if you include this little guy. I don't think I'll need to use this today, but this is just a thin. It gets into lots of times you can get down into the cracks here. Another thing that really helps if you just lay back the seat, that really opens up this gap, so you can really get in here really with a standard brush and get the debris and whatever you got in there and clean that up. Let's go and set that back up. But I've got a nylon brush. This is, I won't use this either. This is just for real tough stains. A lot of times I use it on carpet, but I don't really use it on seats because this is so aggressive that it can actually kind of, it'll make the upholstery kind of loose, and you can see if you use this too hard. It's just a real aggressive brush, so I don't typically use this on upholstery, but I do have it and I just wanted to show it. If I do use it, I'm just real light with it. This is just a real soft interior brush. I use this all the time for seats and carpet as well, but this is usually my seat upholstery brush. And then I've got a clean microfiber towel. I've got Adam's carpet and upholstery cleaner. I like Adam's stuff. This isn't really an endorsement or anything for them. It's just what I use. So this is what I use. It's the least aggressive out of the chemicals that I do use on upholstery. The next step up is, this is super clean, but I actually think it's Purple Power. I reuse the container, so have that as well. If this doesn't get it out, then I step it up to the degreaser, and this is not diluted. I do normally dilute, and I make like a 1-to-1 dilution, and I would try that first normally, but I don't have a dilution bottle with me right now to dilute that. So, and then if that still doesn't get it out, I think I'll be okay with just this today, but then I'll step it up to a diluted 1-to-1 APC, and this is just Adam's all-purpose cleaner, diluted 1-to-1. And then if that still doesn't get it out, then I step up to all-purpose cleaner, just undiluted. I don't use undiluted APC on a lot of interiors because I have seen it actually fade interior, or you can tell where you've cleaned, and it's just a little aggressive, but I do have that, and sometimes I do have to use it. So but normally these 2 right here really get out the majority of stuff. This is just for real bad staining. I'll use the APC. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to start with the vacuum, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's where the steam cleaner comes into play. I like to do a pass real quick on the steam cleaner, and what that'll do is it'll loosen up the fibers in the carpet. So once the fibers are loose, I'll spray my cleaner on, I'll kind of scrub it down, and then I'll go back over with the steamer and then take the microfiber towel and pretty much wipe up any of the mess. So that's my process. I guess we'll give it a shot, and what you'll see I've actually already done the other seat, so I know that the carpet and upholstery cleaner won't clean this very good, so I'm just going to do straight. I'm just going to go straight to the degreaser. So, but I will use the carpet cleaner and the upholstery cleaner for the sides area, these bolsters, and hopefully that'll take care of it. So let's try it out and see what happens here. Yeah, you can see all that nastiness coming out of there. So hopefully it's going to work pretty good. It looks like it will. Alright, there we go. It's kind of the end product there. Turned out pretty good. There's a little bit, I don't even know if the camera will pick it up. Yeah, it might. There's a little bit right here that I might go over one more time. One thing I forgot to mention is you want to make sure, I know I've seen some videos out there of people that put maybe soap in a bucket and of warm water, and then they take a brush and they just, they get all of this wet, and I avoid that with seats especially. And then what they'll do is they'll suck it up with a shop vac. What I've noticed is if you do something like that, you start getting a mildew smell because that water gets so absorbed into the padding and stuff of the seat. You can't suck it up even with a shop vac. You almost have to air dry it out, and so if it doesn't get all the way dry, then it sits in a nice warm car and it starts getting a mildewy smell. So I don't recommend that. I actually did that when I first started detailing, and even though it kind of, it does clean, you have the side effect of, too much water on the seat will absorb into that material. Carpet's a little bit better, but I still only do that with carpet if it's like a serious stain. Otherwise, this process here works perfect. I've had little issues, and one thing I didn't actually talk about is my steamer. This is just a cheap little McCulloch. I'll put a link in the description to this. Again, I think I paid 120 bucks for it, but it's a great little steamer. It takes a lot out. I guess the other part of this is still wet, so once this dries up, you might see this staining a little bit more. We'll go to the other side because I've actually already done the other side. Did it a while ago, so it should be pretty dry. And then you can kind of see this side was about the same as far as the level of staining. In fact, I still got to do this center one. Not sure if all this will come out, but this is pretty nasty too. So anyways, that's how you get stains out, in particular with this stupid GM interior that is super cheap. Another vehicle that I've seen with this kind of interior are Jeeps, usually the cheaper Jeeps, Liberties, Patriots, things like that you'll see with this kind of interior. So it's not too bad once you have the right tools. I know the normal person probably doesn't have a steamer, but hey, you can take it somewhere, pay them $100-200 just to, you know, clean your upholstery, or you can just invest in the machine, do it yourself, and then it pays for itself the first time you use it. So anyways, that's that. If this helped you, please give a like to the video, and if you just want to see a lot of random videos on cars and detailing, fixing, all that good stuff, just subscribe. All right, thanks.